I am Dungeon Master, your guide in the realm of Dungeons and Dragons.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I am the Dungeon Master, and this is Shadows of the Past. We are rejoining Heinrich as he and his hirelings are traveling down the mountain and northwest into the territories of Caldonia proper. And just kind of looking to get out of Carpathia and explore the world some more. Along the way, they have encountered a few, dangers. A goblin ambush this close to Kiz seems, rather odd, and then a wyvern being roused from its hiding place was another odd thing to see. And so now the party uh, is continuing, and I'm going to just go ahead and pull up the world map here so that everybody can see, yourself included.
Yeah, that will be kind. Or else I might be in a garbage can and I don't even know it.
How's that make you feel? Grouchy. Alrighty. So over here, you'll see that somehow the circle got adjusted a little here, but this is Kiz way over here in the circle, and then you're trying to get to this next town over. But as you know, my map is huge, so that's actually like days worth of travel there.
Yeah, absolutely. But before we do this, this is the plan. But before we do this, now that we're charged with a bunch of stuff from the Wyvern, we want to bring back that stuff to Roland because we
Yeah.
were just like half a day out. We just had set out in the Wyvern attack.
Yeah, I was going to cover that. So I was going to kind of show you the geography of what you're dealing with so that you can, accurately know the scene, and just, in case anybody else is joining us for this episode but hasn't watched the previous episodes, as Dan Harmon says, if that's you, you're doing it wrong. But regardless, we'll try and catch you up as best we can. So the mountains here, as we covered, it's a 2D representation, so you can't just go down the front side there and then loop back around. You're going down the back side of the mountains, which is covered with those foothills there, and there's all kinds of caves and valleys and hiding spots all throughout that land, heading west into the grasslands there. So you were like halfway down the mountain, partly in the hills, partly still in the mountains, caves everywhere. You find the Wyvern. You're still at the Wyvern. You want to transport the Wyvern back. So let's start to make sure that you have enough carrying capacity, or how this is going to go, and then we'll get you back by Roland.
Yeah, we had cut what we need. So it's not the entire Wyvern we're bringing. We had already cut the head itself, then extracted some skin. Let me pull up my sheet. Shadows of Past. I got a Google Drive for that.
Smart man.
All right, so from the Wyvern, we have 2 vials of acid blood, 3 square yards of scaled skin, 3 square yards of scrap skin, and then 2 times 5 yards of wing membrane, and then some wing membrane parts, scraps also. The stinger itself, fangs and claws.
Yes.
So that should be okay to carry. What is not possible to carry is the 25,000 silver piece and the 250,000 copper piece.
Well, yeah, for sure. But I'm actually going to just real quick see if I can find the weight on rolls of cloth or leather, and see what the.
Just to make it logical.
Yeah, I just want to make sure. I'm not doubting that you can carry it. I want to make sure.
Yeah, I understand. I just, in my head, I just considering the amount of thugs and knights and followers I have, probably would not be a problem.
Yeah, well, the bard ain't carrying shit. I'll let you know that.
All right. The bard ain't carrying shit. We also have a magical squirrel.
No, I know. I'm just making sure that, like, she'll sing you a song of, like,
Are we there yet?
Carrying capacity. It's got a slow, steady. Hey, you've got to carry that load. Carry that load a long time. And she just sings you that.
All right, cool. You actually
so much more talent, than I did it with. Like that's the one thing I can half-ass some voices. I can make up some okay dialogue. I can do a lot with that, but I will never be able to replicate a bard being able to sing you a good song.
Yeah, it's DMing and being an actual musician is not the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I have a veritable library of songs memorized that I torture my wife with singing. But that I if she were to pay me to spend time with her as you guys do, then I guess I wouldn't torture her as much.
Yeah.
All right. So, I am on a chart here that says that and perhaps you can help me with this since you're actually taught the metric system properly.
Yeah.
Uh, it says that 1 square yard of leather that is, and I think this might be an appropriate thickness, but I'm not sure, 6 millimeters thick.
Yeah. That's
Uh,
quarter of an inch.
yeah, yeah. So that's maybe even a little bit less than what it would be 15 ounces per square yard. So 3 square yards, 45 ounces.
That's 2.8 pounds. So 3 pounds.
Yeah, we'll call it three. Yeah,
Okay, so
that makes it nice and easy. 1 pound per square yard. Boom, boom,
all
boom.
right. Yeah, that makes sense. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 pounds of leather and membrane.
And then, oh, no, no, no. The membrane is half that.
Okay, so 8 pounds, 6 pounds of leather and 2 pounds of membrane.
There you go.
8 pounds. Then the stinger is probably like a good 20 because we got the entire thing.
So the stinger, I'm not entirely sure, what kind of weights would be involved with all of that. Like obviously there's some tissue weight for the um, venom producing gland, a little bit of liquid weight for whatever venom, is actually in there. And
We
then
also
the
have flesh. We cut a piece of tail to get the stinger entirely.
yeah, right. And then the chitinous shell itself would, I assume, be the bulk of the weight. And so, I'm not an expert on scaling uh, arachnids and arthropods up to sizes that would be of what the wyvern size would be, and then trying to calculate for it being actually a reptilian creature with a arthropods, mechanism, since stingers like that aren't really found on reptiles. And so I guess 20 pounds is about as good a guess as I would be able to make myself. So yeah.
That's what I imagine. So the head itself might be, I don't know,
100, 150.
100, 150. Okay.
Somewhere
Okay.
in that range if you think about it. So the
So
wyvern was huge,
considering,
right?
yeah,
And
considering that this is all we're getting, one of us gets the head. Uh, the thugs, like the two thugs together, could hoist the head. One horn in each hand and move on.
yeah, 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 yeah. You could make the thugs do that.
So I remember that we had forfeit taking the head because it was bashed in and it had no value.
Oh, that's right. You
We
took
had to
you
want the
took the
head. We didn't want
fangs.
it.
You got like 14 fangs or whatever, but
Yeah, 15 fangs and 5 claws. So that's pocket change. That would be maybe 1 pound each.
the horns are the fangs are like half a pound each, and the horns are like, I don't know, maybe five each.
All right. So 30, 40 pounds with everything. There's also a Minotaur skull with jeweled.
Yes, now with the gold on there, that obviously weighs it down quite a bit more.
Yeah.
So, assuming that a Minotaur head is roughly equivalent to a bull's skull, and a human head weighs roughly 8 pounds. Um,
Well, that's the head when it's filled with everything. The bone itself.
right, right, right. No, no, I was getting to that. Don't worry. I actually do use a proper logical scientific breakdown of like, how this goes. So like I start with a human head weighs roughly 8 pounds, and then you take out all of the water weight and muscle and tissue from the brain and tendons and all of that, and you're probably down to, I'd say, anywhere from 6 to 4 pounds, you know, somewhere in that range, because certainly the hard bone of the skull is the lion's share of the weight, no less than half of the weight of the totality of the head. Right? We can agree on that as like a reasonable place to start.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So a bull, is big, and they can weigh about half a ton if I'm not mistaken. And feel free to correct me on that if you somehow have more knowledge on cows and bulls than someone who
I
lived
don't.
40 years in Wisconsin.
But just in case, I googled bull skull weight, and I actually have a catalog of a guy that sells bull skulls with the horns, and they're all 30 pounds. Like,
Oh, you know what? That was about where I was going with this. Was that I imagine that a bull skull probably weighs close to 50 pounds, and therefore would be anywhere from like 25 to 35 pounds,
cool. So a bull skull, a typical bull skull without the ornaments is 30 pounds. So we could say 10 pounds more for the ornaments.
Yeah, a third of the weight added for the gold. Because like, let's be realistic. This Minotaur who wore this in life wasn't going to add so much weight to his head that he was like doubling the weight of his head or something like
Yeah,
that.
because it would not fight. It would not be able to, manage.
Exactly.
All right. So we're at 80 pounds. I think 80 pounds we can split it among us. We want to split the gold, actually. Remember what we got? Um, there was, we found in there a bunch of platinum, gold, silver, and copper.
Hmm.
I said the platinum and the gold, I would just take it on me, but
Hmm.
I want to split it to them. I want to eventually split it to them, so we could do this right away.
Yeah, absolutely.
So 100 copper. They each then get 10 platinum, and I'm left with 50. So I will, let's say we rejoin the thugs because they were with the vultures.
Yes, they're over there guarding your vulture bodies.
They each get 10 platinum, and I get 10.
So I want to be clear with you and anybody who's watching. I'm not going to track the money that you give to them as far as like,
No, I'm just being honest that when we find liquid change, I give them half. So
right,
that,
and then just
yeah,
assume that they are spending their money everywhere you stop on, like, you know liquor, and not to be disrespectful in 2020, but being realistic for a medieval society, they spend it on women, you know.
absolutely. You won't hear a judgment from me.
No, I know, but I'm very conscious of these things. I have a wife, two female children, all of that, and I don't want any female viewers to think that if I ever use a word like, spend it on booze and whores, that like I mean that like all women or anything like that, or that's an appropriate way to refer to women. But in a medieval society, like Game of Thrones, the character is literally Rosalind the whore, and the one refers to herself as Shay, the funny whore. So like, at the
Yeah,
end
it
of the
is what it
day,
is.
it's their word that I'm just using to immerse ourselves, but I don't want anybody thinking that I would ever refer to women like that, in real life. That's not cool.
So in the cave, there is left 25,000 silver pieces and 250,000 copper pieces that are buried, and that we distributed the bones that were there in that wyvern cave. Remember that?
Yes.
All right. So there was a magical chain shirt. We'll be carrying this. That's just on the thug somewhere, and that's what we got. Okay, let's go back to Roland. Oh, we got to the vultures. I told the guys to pluck the feathers of the vultures. Did they do that? And
I mean, they're thugs, man. So
yeah, so they wrecked it.
yeah, I mean, they didn't do a great job.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You got some feathers, like a couple of the really
Yeah, the big ones that you just pull, they're
yeah.
easy. They're big and they're nice. So out of pure randomness, let's say they processed the two. I told them don't only process one to see how it goes, but
They didn't listen.
yeah, let's just pluck the feathers.
It
I got
turned
a few pounds.
it turned into them having a feather fight. If you must know what went wrong, they do confess eventually when you're like,
Oh yeah,
guys,
they do stupid shit like that. All right, I still have the most beautiful feathers. I have a bunch.
there's a couple of the most beautiful ones that are wrecked, but you do have two of the top five.
Uh, two.
Like those perfect long ones right at the tips of the wings, like the third
Right.
feather in.
So I just wrote that I have a bunch of giant Voltifritters and two perfect ones, two
Yep.
perfect long ones. That will be enough. I mean, I'm just gonna give this in bulk to Roland. It's just flavor text at this point.
Oh yeah,
All
yeah,
right,
yeah, yeah. No, I
let's go.
understand exactly where you're coming from with that.
Let's go to Roland. Let's walk back home because now this is gonna be some downtime and calculation and stuff like that.
So I agree that you have enough carrying capacity between all of you, but let's face it, there's no such thing as a perfectly egalitarian manner in which to split something like this up, and somebody's getting the heavy and or awkward load.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. He's probably paid for it, so that's good.
Who is it?
Um, the thugs.
Okay. I'm not gonna be like rolling all the time and everything. You don't have to worry about that. But um I'm just gonna kind of be keeping track of like who gets the short end of the stick most often, or like, just personality wise, I feel like they're kind of getting fed up with things, stuff like that, or alternatively, they could be like really happy with the way shit is going and all of that. So like I'm not just looking at ways to punish. I'm just kind of tracking all of the various things that are happening and how it is affecting your relationship with the hirelings.
Cool.
Obviously, in this instance, yes, it is. They're kind of not thrilled that they got the heavier load, but whatever. Like you said, they're getting paid. Shut up.
Yeah, and then I would say you ruined the feathers by fighting, so you get the load.
Yeah, but I won.
Yes. All right, let's move on.
You didn't win. And he just like slugs them again, and they start wrestling around again.
We're moving on.
They're still wrestling in the road. Yeah, they're still wrestling. You guys are done packing up. You're like ready to head out. I'm sorry. I know I let you push X to skip a lot, but this is one of the downsides of having a lot of hirelings. Is sometimes you gotta wrangle those cats.
Yeah. Um, I'm just moving on.
So you're just gonna wait it out?
No, I'm moving on. I'm walking forward.
Oh, okay. So you
The
begin.
maximum that I'll do is tell them, move. Come on, move.
All right. That I will allow you to choose persuasion or intimidation. Are you being more forceful or are you being, a little more diplomatic in your approach?
Um, I'm going to use, in this case, intimidation because I wanted to just tell them this is not
Yeah,
situation. It's just I wanted to use my authority as a boss.
yeah, and I could roll, but the chances of me rolling as low as a one are pretty slim to none. So we're gonna
I don't.
we're going to say that basically they're so engaged in their wrestling match that they just simply didn't hear you. Not that they're trying to disrespect your authority.
Okay,
That
and the stuff that we're supposed to carry, it's still on the ground because if they're fighting, they're not carrying it.
right, yeah, they're not carrying anything right now. Whatever you had set aside for their packs and everything, unless somebody else packed it for them, remains unpacked as they have been wrestling on the ground for.
All right. Dear knight, dear assassin, dear knight, would you pick up the heaviest part, like the Minotaur skull, and a roll of leather? I'll pick up the remaining leather and the fangs.
Yeah,
Dear assassin, if you could help us with another roll of the big leather, we just pack it.
yeah,
All right, and let us move on. Okay, and we just walk out without even telling the guys that are still fighting.
yep,
We just go away, the four of us. That's
yep.
it.
and
Okay.
and so now you're walking on. As you know, you're not that far distance wise from Kiz, but
Yeah, yeah,
you're you're in some pretty difficult terrain. And here's the thing about the journey that you made. So you can see Kiz is kind of way far up the mountain there, right? That's intentionally put there. If Kiz was on the other side of the mountain, I would have like done the map differently to convey that. Like I placed Kiz 3/4, 2/3 of the way up the mountain there to signify that this place is indeed, up the mountain like some Tibetan monastery or something like
yeah.
that.
I get that.
And so when you were traveling yesterday, last week, you were traveling down the mountain
With not the weight.
with not the weight. You got it. You've already soused out where I'm going with this.
Yeah, it's gonna be a long run. It's gonna take an extra day.
You got it.
Yeah.
I just, you know, some players they just know like, okay, this is how far I was, so therefore this is how long it takes me to get back. It's like, well, that's the funny thing is every so often you can't get there from here. Yeah, so uh actually you will be able to get there. I don't mean to misconstrue my words, but you're exactly right. It's gonna take you longer, and you already were out searching for the wyvern. So now it's getting dark in the low to medium foothills and mountain range here. You're not into the um, Denver, Colorado, Rocky Mountains, mile high, altitude to where you can't breathe. But, you're getting there.
So at the fall of the day, we will just establish camp, and there's four of us, so we can do rounds.
Yes.
I will also do rounds. And hopefully the tugs will, I don't know, find their way back or whatever.
Yeah. And so you said you will do rounds. I just want to make sure I know what you mean by that.
Uh, Watches.
Yes, watches. I kind of figured that that's what you meant, but like it's
Yeah.
bad to assume. So, yeah, you set up your camp and I don't need you to roll a survival, like it's assumed that between the spy who is, more of a scout. I mean, spy is the official listing in the manual and all of that, but like, you know, yes, they are a straight up assassin as far as their abilities to kill, but they also are kind of like the ranger that you were asking for. They know how to slip about in the woods and do stuff. And even though you're on the mountain range, there are still trees, mostly conifers, but you can find enough wood to make a fire, at least one that will allow you to melt any of the mountain snow into water, or whatever else that you need to do for survival purposes. And so as you guys are just setting up and you're doing one of your rounds, um, you do indeed hear the brothers arguing, coming, it's echoing through the mountain, as they're arguing about which one of them made them like lose the group, and like, the best job that they had, and all of that.
Well, I learned. I think we can manage doing this with a group of four.
Well, you didn't have an encounter in the interim, so I mean, I'm not arguing with you as the player, the PC. You're gonna do what you want. I just, I feel like part of a DM's job is providing a counterpoint, regardless of whether that was actually what they intended to do or not.
Of course, of course. We're setting camp. We're going through the night and walking back up to Roland. It's quite simple. It's a straight objective. Now you got to tell me if it works.
Okay. So the thugs. Did you ever watch Ocean's 11?
Yeah. And those
Uh,
two guys always, the two
the
brothers are always.
brothers. Yeah. So that's them.
Okay.
And I just find it easier to base characters off of something that's like easily pop culture reference that people can understand what I'm going for. And it also gives you a baseline to like aim for when you're playing that character. And so they're coming up and they're being loud, and they see you guys, and like, they come walking up, and so what would you like to roll for how you handle letting them know, that their services aren't needed?
Oh, I'll just tell him to settle down. Hey, settle down. Have a bit of meat
Okay.
and potatoes.
Yeah, no, okay, so they rejoin, and
Yeah.
they're
I mean,
happy,
I wasn't going to handle anything. They were not following. We went into our direction. They arrived. They found us. Cool. So they get to do one watch, but I want them to do it together.
Okay. And they absolutely, no rolling necessary to get them to just, they're kind of chagrined right now. They feel like they messed up, so they're
I
being.
mean, they did, but I'm not gonna fight to keep them or to not have them around. I mean, they're there. It's cool. Now, quiet down. Let's sleep.
Oh yeah. So they're, you know, they are on their best behavior for the rest of the night.
All right. What next?
Well, next is you subtract rations. Well, for you, these guys feed themselves. We already covered that. Uh, and then once you subtract rations, uh, we go back to Roland's. And I share the sheet to make sure that you can see it.
Yeah, I got this. I see it.
And then I drag you back out onto there. Oh, uh-oh. It's got the wrong token for you. I'll fix that real quick.
Yeah, Heinrich has suddenly became a girl.
Hey, we don't question.
Yeah. Question we don't judge. Yeah. Hey, Roland. I was supposed to leave, but guess what? We're hauling in quite the good stuff.
Oh, yeah. I'm always happy to see you again, especially with good news.
Yeah, so I'll deblatterate the inventory. I will just shoot him.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
we kind of know, you
I'm
know,
pasting whatever. Yeah, actually, I had already done that, but the crafting material. Okay, so the skull, a lot of leather and stuff. I have no specific need, but it's just all of this. I would drop it for him, and I would say, any idea you have, I'm gonna spend 2 weeks helping you. So you don't even need to tell me what he crafts.
got it.
I'm just gonna spend 2 weeks for the purpose of letting him have stuff so he can sell. Give me money now or later, and that's it. Which is just one bust 2 weeks of crafting with at small scale, high scale. That usually would be enough for two uncommon items and then some little shit.
Yeah. All right. Well,
And my hirelings, they are. I mean, yeah, they've been working for me like 5 6 days, even less than that, like 3 days, almost nothing. So I just tell them you're 2 weeks off. See me here in 2 weeks.
um, boss, I hold on. Boss, I kind of need to talk to you about this then there, cause we didn't quite negotiate this part of the contract, and you see there are a few addendums, a couple of quid pro quo.
Yeah, what?
Well, you see, the thing is we get paid leave.
You get paid leave. Yeah, I gave you money for a month.
Yeah, oh, no, we're good, we're good. Just making sure that you knew that this still counted towards our month, okay, boss?
Oh, okay, yes. You're paid monthly, and then when for 2 weeks I tell you you have nothing to do, you discounts in time.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
we
yeah.
just needed to be clear with that because we didn't want to get into an argument down the road about it is all.
Oh yeah, okay. I thought it was like you wanted more payment for the leave. Like,
Oh, we'll take some more payment, but you just gave us some platinum and shit, so I mean,
yeah. And if you want to equip yourself, you can. But I think it's good. We're good.
Okay, okay, cool. See ya. We're gonna
Yeah, yeah.
go do what adventurers do when they got a lot of money in downtime.
Yeah. See you in 2 weeks.
See you in 2 weeks, boss. One
Oh,
fortnight it
yeah, I have
is.
a job for you in 2 weeks.
What?
I have a big job for you in 2 weeks, so go and rest up. I mean, they work for me for 3 days, and then I wanna focus on that. Hey, actually, can we backtrack this? Let's say I never gave them leave.
Yes, yes.
All 5 of them, while I work at the forge, all 5 of them, their job for the next 2 weeks is um, with a horse and a trailer to go get all this platinum and silver. And I've seen the quantity. I expect the same quantity to be brought back here. Their job for the next 2 weeks is just to haul that. That was 25,000 silver and 250,000 copper. So I'll even invest
Okay, boss.
a card if they want. I mean,
The thugs and the spy and the bard like all get together. Uh, um, Kevin, Kevin or Kyle, your choice. The knight.
Kyle.
Kyle, the knight. Would it's definitely not Kanave. But so Kyle the knight. He is with you with this. He's like, ah, yes, indeed. The right thing to do here is to go and gather up the treasure and bring it back and let you divvy it up as you are the leader of this group and all of that.
This is liquid cash.
Yes.
You get back, you get a bonus of your 10% of that. So
Yeah, well, that's what those guys are over there whispering about.
yeah. It's this liquid cash. This is part of the deal.
So
You get 2,500 silver and 25,000 copper out of this.
each of us?
Yeah, all of you, 5 of you each get 10%. That's the deal.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. No, we're cool then. Yeah, that we were over here like the thugs just didn't understand the math. Is all. So they needed to be explained it again. And so now that the bard has like explained it to them for the 15th time, they
You're gonna get rich and have the best freaking alcohol and whores for the remaining time.
yeah. And then also I as the DM wanted to make sure that I knew because that horde was meant to be like if these guys helped you get it here, they wanted half.
Yeah, they wanted to have each their 10%. That was the deal. It's liquid money per the agreement. They get nothing of the material, but they get paid per month, a small fee, and they get 10% of the liquidity we find, which is in this case a shit ton of silver and copper pieces.
Yes,
Their
it is.
job to haul it, and they just have to dream about the, they get 250. They get 500 gold total. Each of them get 500 gold out of this.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, so I am going to let you in on a little secret. Secret. I got a secret.
Yeah.
I, as a DM, will always have my high rolls are good for me and bad for you, and my low rolls are good for you and bad for me. That's
all right. Because you're a DM that competes with his player. I get that.
no.
I'm just kidding, man.
Screw you. That's it. Campaign's canceled. No.
Okay, so
It's because I don't want there to be any confusion as to how this goes. That's why I don't like rolling for the players and all of that. So essentially, like if I'm ever rolling to see what the outcome is of some random event to where it's not influenced by a skill roll of yours, you're not rolling your d20. I'm not rolling any of my d20s from any of the NPCs. I tend to take a percentage dice and I will roll that. And you always want to see me roll low.
All right, that's cool.
That way there's no confusion about like, oh, let me see how your trip turns out when you're sailing across here, and like I didn't really have a specific plan, so I'm going to let random chance dictate this one. And so I'll roll the percentage dice, and if I roll like an ot, the Kraken is coming. You know.
Yeah. So,
All right.
what was the roll now, and what did you roll?
So I rolled a percentage dice to find out just how much of your money made it back. Like did they take 100% back and wait for you to divvy it up? Did they try to take what they estimated was their 50%? Did they get it anywhere near right? And what percentage is left for you, that they actually have in whatever.
The tugs and the spy might be a bit on the greedy side, but the knight, if he has a conscience, would be looking at them.
Yeah, Kyle is all over this. He's making sure, and that's what the two represents. The only one that would have been any better is if I had rolled a one. This is still in the top 5% of outcomes you could have had, and so effectively Kyle oversaw the operation, and not only did Kyle oversee the operation, but nobody tried nothing. So this went as well and as smoothly as you could have possibly hoped for, and you have 100% of all of your money in a
Cool.
pile in front of you, Breaking Bad style, and it is up to you to divide it the way you see
All
fit.
right. So I'm gonna ask Roland if he can switch that to gold, or if we
Well,
just
I'm
go to
not.
the bank, they will do it.
I'm no wizard, Heinrich.
Okay, but I mean, if he's got a commerce, maybe he can help us. But if we just go to a bank, they could just shift it for us.
There's not like banks like that. There's like kind of like there's the bankers guild, but like mostly what they do is take your money and pay local mercenaries a small fee to keep your money safe in their bank. And
Yeah.
so it's not a bank like you don't exchange one money for another. You don't get loans per se. Sometimes you can, like really really special people can get loans. You definitely don't earn any interest. It costs you a certain amount to keep your money there, and there is always the chance that somebody rolls through and like knocks off the bank anyway, and then you're just shit out of luck.
Yeah. So with all this coinage, I still have to give their share to the guys, and I don't want them to give them in silver and copper because they won't be able to move.
Yeah.
So I'll ask the bard and the knight to. I don't want the tugs to be the guards of this. I want the knight and the bard to change as much as they can. So that
How?
their share-
What this is them in character. Like, how do you want us to do that, boss?
Roland, you're a business person here.
Yes.
How would someone change that wealth
Alchemy?
in gold? No, I mean, no, come on. Trade it.
Trade it.
This is.
Okay, yeah. If you want me as Chad the DM to talk to you about this, I'll tell you right now. What's going on is you're in a society where like exchanging coins like that is not a common enough practice. Like everybody has the money that they need for conducting business, and although there is like some degree of like, okay, I want that chicken. I'll give you a gold piece, and you give me the chicken and 5 silver pieces. Like, so there is some concept of like exchanging greater quantities of smaller coins for larger quantities of greater coins and all of that. There is some concept of that. It's done more on like a barter basis. Like, nobody out there has 100 gold coins that they're looking to trade you for 1,000 silver.
Okay, so how do we? I mean, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, right? I'm gonna tell them that they hauled it, and
Do you want to know what you should do?
yeah,
It, it, I don't give the answer away often, but I can tell that you're slightly frustrated by this, and that's not what I'm
yeah.
going for.
I mean, it's just managing change.
I
I
know.
want to get rid of the
I know.
problem.
And since I don't want to see you get frustrated, you do what most wealthy people do when they have way too much of one precious metal. You melt that shit down into bars.
Oh, you melt it in bars and then sell the bars.
Correct.
All right, Roland has a forge. Hey, Roland, you'll have 10% of that if you melt it. We
Oh,
can just have bars.
yeah. No problem. Why didn't you just say that in the first place?
Yeah, because I'm not a historian and out of character. I didn't know.
Yeah. Sorry. I'm not trying to rip on you as a person. I'm just being a little funny, facetious with the meta
Yeah, yeah,
of the situation.
yeah. Okay, so I imagine Heinrich would have thought about stuff like that because we get a lot of money. Cool. So I just want them to melt it so everyone can have their bars, and then it is everyone's responsibility to trade their bars for gold any way they want because they have to be unencumbered, really unencumbered for the trip because we're going to carry a lot of stuff. It's their job to carry a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously the bars doesn't like reduce the weight per se, but it does allow you to, take one big bar of silver, and like people are now more interested in having that, and they will purchase that off of you. Although you can lose or gain money in playing that exchange game like that.
Yeah, so I don't care what they do with their share, and I would even accept that my share reduces, but I'm down to the equivalent of 1,000 gold or 100 platinum in value for me.
No,
So
I know. I know, and I'm not like, you know,
so
overly
whatever
trying to tax
that
you,
they
but I am trying to make the world realistic. Like, the
right.
more you try to like work with all of this, and you haven't even been taxed yet. Like, this is just the effort of having people haul it here, melting it down, and now potentially losing some in the exchange. I'm not
Yeah,
saying I'm not saying that it's gonna for sure happen. I'm saying.
I'll even tell you, I'm trading mine for platinum and copper, platinum and gold. Uh, After giving away 10% to Roland and 10% to everyone, there's a 40% left for me, which the value is 1,000 gold. I'll
Yeah,
have yeah, I'll have
and that's actually perfect. Like,
yeah,
that's bingo bango bongo for me.
cool. Because I'm reaching the point. If you don't find an easy solution, I'm just gonna give them the gold and say, okay, do whatever the fuck you want with that. I'm moving on because I don't want to spend 20 minutes of my game trading silver and copper.
Understood. See,
All
now
right.
this is where communication is key.
Yeah.
I want to provide you with a realistic immersive world. I don't want to bog you down, too much. I did figure it out though. It's 400 gold, 400 coins per bar that
Okay.
that you make.
So basically, I would have left 800 gold instead of 1,000. Is it?
And then
I
the
mean,
bars.
if you say per bar,
Yeah. So
Okay.
when you make a copper bar, it's 400 copper pieces. A silver bar is 400 silver pieces. On
Okay.
down the line.
All right. I rounded it down. I'll sell mine for platinum pieces, and you can tell me that I've lost a certain percentage in the trade. Like I'll buy it for you for that much, and I'll sell
Yeah.
it for that.
So the gold, you can get equal value.
Okay.
They'll give you 4 platinum pieces for all of your gold bars. Not all, you know what I mean. Each of
Yeah.
your gold bars. For all of your gold bars, it's a great deal for us. And the silver and copper less so. Rather than trying to like do an exchange rate of like this much for the silver and this much for the copper, we're just gonna say you lose an additional 5% selling the silver and copper.
Yeah, no problem. So an extra 5%. So I'm at one. Good. That's good. This is good.
And then that's wrapped up right there. You don't have to go
That's right.
interact with the
Yeah, exactly.
bankers or whatever. It's just done.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, we can role play, micromanage stuff like that, but at one point, my story is not moving forward.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't even want to bug Roland with details. Just say this is what you got. You'll have a bit of my blood. I'll do magic. I want to spend 2 weeks with you. Let's craft shit.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's get to work. There's
Yeah.
nothing like hearing the steel sing as I pound the hammer into it.
Exactly. Um, I imagine these 2 weeks were uneventful.
Well, I mean, you did get a visit from the local lord asking for some tax money.
All right. I mean, if Roland's, I'm not even a resident here anymore, so I'm not concerned.
Yeah, Roland, lets you know that he's just been paying them a flat 1,000 gold pieces a month in taxes ever since business has picked up, and he's been, keeping all the rest because like you don't file taxes.
Yeah,
They just estimate how much money you have and tell you how much they want. And so Roland preemptively, when business picked up, went from paying like 20 gold a month in taxes to like here's 500, and then like a month later here's 1,000, and now he just gives them 1,000 every month and they're more than happy.
yeah, cool. Uh, Whenever let's say we're done with these 2 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
because I want to move on.
Mm-hmm.
I want to, the goal is to not manage a business, but just make it roll.
You're doing an awful lot of business management for not wanting to manage a business.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah.
I,
Now
I,
that I
I,
have, now
I'm
that I
I'm
have money.
teasing a little, half
Yeah,
half truth, half tease.
yeah. It is true that I'm doing a lot of that. But you see, with auto materials, I would just say this is all yours. When I come back next time, you'll give me the money. So
I
you, as you also have time to calculate what you would have done, or
I
you know, kind
understand where you're coming from with all of that. I just have to be like just somewhat clear here, just because I don't want to mislead you in any way.
absolutely,
I
absolutely.
want to provide you with the best gaming experience that I possibly can, and I hope that that lines up with what you want and expect from your gaming experience as much as, possible. I have, however, one caveat to my whole thing with all of this, and that is that I very, very, very rarely will ever um um allow for someone to get all of the benefits of running a business with none of the like effort put in. Like
Yeah,
you
yeah, I
you
get
you
that.
will you will never be able to have for instance a background that says business owner and then just every week show up and be like, "Okay, give me my, 500
Yeah,
gold pieces."
yeah, I agree. That now this is not a problem. I got a bit. not even pissed, just bored with
Yep.
the running around with copper and silver. Is like, come get it. And what could we do? We could do this. We could melt it. Okay, let's fucking melt it. They want less. Okay, tell me how much I lose.
Yeah.
This we can move on. Then, I think it was easier to go down the mountain
Of course.
through the front. I remember it was like,
Oh yeah. There's a road going down the front. Yes, sir.
yeah, it was easier from the front. So I think what I want to do now is I want to go back to Little Costa, just to see the people. So basically, after 2 weeks, if all of my 5 crew come back,
They do.
not too drunk. I mean, they've been
Define too drunk. I'm being real. The thugs are, I mean, they're not 100%. If that's what you mean.
Yeah. Are they functional? Can they walk straight? I mean.
Yeah. I mean, they're
Okay.
they're fine. They definitely look disheveled and smell of alcohol.
All right. I'd like to go with them to Little Casta.
Yeah. Okay. We can do that. And through the magic of fast travel, doodaloo, 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 doodaloo.
Well, if there's no encounter, because now there's 6 of us.
Yeah. No. Exactly.
Yeah, it might not be like wyvern attacks and shit.
Yeah. No,
Which
you
I
got it.
like, actually. By the way, being attacked by a wyvern means crafting materials, so that's good.
Yes, but it also means, potentially losing one of your jerks and, all of that. So.
Oh, I mean, it's that's good. That's part of the game. That's cool.
You like that part now. You're like, at first I didn't like when you kept killing, the kids and stuff, but now that I just got random hired jerks, kill away.
I never said that.
No, I know.
I said that I realized it was not wise to try to move around with people not strong enough to face the music, which is different. It's part of the game. I learn and I move on. Okay, so Little Casta.
Yep, and here it is. And here you are.
Rural block 2 small orchard. Oh, that's cool. So here I had made contact with a few people. If I remember, I had made contact with a bunch of people, and there was a house that was kind of mine.
Yes. I will take a quick look and see if this is indeed the same right map, or if there was
map, but doesn't matter. I theater of the mind. I remember the description of the house I was using.
Yeah. So find an appropriate house.
Yeah. So basically, I remember that I spent time here with the villagers, and I would know who is the smartest and the most intelligent and the most everything.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I mean, some of that stuff's a little subjective,
Yeah, I imagine meeting with the elders. One woman that wanted to have a bit of the money for purchasing stuff, because I still got gold stash here, and I'm gonna recuperate it, and I might give a bit to Casta so they will thrive more.
Oh yeah. No, I'm with you on all of that stuff. I just, I wanted to make it clear that, like, so it's like the Marvel universe. Who's the smartest character in the Marvel universe? And everybody says Tony Stark. But what about Bruce Banner? What about Richard Reed's Mr. Fantastic? What about, Doctor Doom? There's so many super smart characters that saying which one is the smartest is hard to do. Now you're talking about a bunch of peasants. Sure,
Yeah, exactly.
one person might seem like they're the smartest, etc., but that doesn't necessarily mean that they are. Maybe there's somebody else who's actually way smarter, but they're just, quieter about it or whatever.
Yeah. Do you remember that I had the stash money here?
Yeah.
So that was 3,300, and then the skull and the femur of Frederick von Liechtenstein that I still
Hmm.
still have, that I'm keeping for future reference. I'm gonna put this in my inventory now. That skull and femur.
Yeah, actually, this map is perfect. You get this one little cottage house right next to the two-person house at the far edge there, because basically that is the next most capable warrior, whatever. And so he guards your little one room cabin right next to his because it's easy to do that. He can listen for anybody digging around in there. And then also he rents out his double bed. He's got his single bed, and then he rents out his double bed to any of your guests that come through, and that way you always have an extra bed.
All right, cool. That's good.
He's like Airbnb and security all in one.
All right. So this is what I'm gonna do. Uh, I'm gonna go to my place and take all my gold because now I'm gonna be traveling. I still want my house kept safe. Um, I want to go to that security guard and drop him. I want to have a chat with him. If he feels that he can have ideas on how to invest money properly for the benefit of Little Casta, and I'll give him 100 gold.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just flat out. It's like try to invest this for Little Casta, and take 5 gold just for you, but try to invest it in a way that you think they had cows and shit like that. But I remember that there was a girl, a woman, a family woman that wanted to hire get the cows and get this and get that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So security guard, I say, well, you could invest in security, hire people, or build a palisade or stuff like that. The other girl who had the cows, I'm gonna go and give her $100 to say, make sure that the cows thrive, and take 5 gold for you, but make sure that the cows thrive and make sure that the entire economy of food on Little Castan thrives.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's exactly why I've been trying to, replenish our stock of cattle is because if we have enough cattle, then we don't have to, worry about constantly buying new ones. We can keep a breeding population going much better, and also I can then use the breeding females who are being cycled in between breeding cycles, and I can use them as milk cattle that I can turn into butters and creams and all kinds of other stuff that's gonna
So
um
it's very beneficial.
yeah, like I'm the one you need to be investing in.
All right, I'm gonna give her 200 gold instead. There you
Oh,
go, 200 gold.
and then I get to keep 10, right?
And then you can keep 10. I mean, what I want you is to invest as smart as logically as you can into the cow industry and the cattle and whatever other kind of creature, sheep, horse, whatever.
Well, I mean, you did hear me say how I cycle their breeding and all that. Said I'm not,
She's smart. Yeah, she's smart. I want to go see the village elder. The guy that seems to have, wits, pull the strings, give the orders. Regardless if he's smart or not, I don't care.
So the guy, quote unquote, in charge would be the guy in the building to the south there. He actually runs the only thing that passes for a um in apartment building or whatever, if you will. All of the workers for the orchard live in that building, and then he owns it and lives in that big fancy building kitty corner that you're standing right in front of.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna tell them to give a break to orchard workers for a while. I'm gonna pay their entire stay for the year. I don't know how much that would be.
Oh, I mean,
Oh,
it's
they
like
agree for
it's like a silver piece, uh, probably a week, I would say. So like 5 silver a month, just to make it easy,
So
and then also, just for the record, um, their room and board is paid for by their work, and then they're paid a small, stipend on top of that.
all right. So as for the inn, I'm gonna give him 100 gold. Say, hey, I want to invest in the inn. You don't have to return me anything, but here's 100 gold to spice up the inn, make it more comfortable for the workers and for people who pass by. This will affect the image of Costa.
Oh, what? You mean you want me to put some grain and a side of meat with their fruit, breakfast?
Better for the guests. Make it beautiful. Maybe have one room that is with silk drapes instead of normal. I mean, spice up your hotel, your inn. Make it better.
Oh, I
More
mean,
because if we have
it's little above a slave quarters, for me, but sure.
yeah, I mean,
Indentured servant? Are you more comfortable with that word?
I'm wondering if you
Look, the
understand what
point
I mean.
is, I own these people.
Okay, I switched topics. I completely switched topic. He has an inn, does he?
No, he has a building that he keeps his people in.
Oh, so he doesn't have an inn. I thought he
I
was.
said it's the closest thing to what would be considered an inn or like an apartment building. It's where people with nowhere else to go to live, and then you end up working in his orchard, and he's got you for the rest of your natural life.
Yeah, but for them it's like their way to live. So
Hey,
okay,
hey, yeah. You don't have to fight every social injustice of the land because this is like,
yeah, I like
12th
that.
12th
Absolutely.
century Europe. Like there's a whole lot of injustice going on. I
I
promise
mean,
you.
sure. Is there an inn like when travelers go by, they stay in a place, or is it like old Doodle had a farm and he lets them live in the barn? Is there an inn? It's a 2,000 people village.
Um like what usually ends up happening is that the caravans and all of that camp like just outside of town,
Okay.
because you got to understand that solo travelers like you, um, are kind of rare, and that usually,
Understand why? Because we end up dying. Because it's it's better to have a party.
right. So usually you see people traveling in groups of like double digits,
Yeah.
and so they just they don't build inns like that back then. Like some richer places do, of course. But like this is still just basically a farming community for all intents and purposes.
Yeah. Oh, that was funny.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The way you laughed, Discord crunched, so it went like it went completely awful.
Oh no, that's what I was trying to do.
Oh, okay.
I
All
was
right.
I was I was doing a dolphin laugh because I said intents and porpoises,
Oh, okay. Like the Daltons.
like the dolphins that make me cry.
All right. So yeah, I've invested in the cow industry and hopefully in the security, where the security guard, the guy would understand what I mean by build a palisade and make sure the place is more safe. Maybe hire someone So let's see what they do with that. The goal was just for me to drop $300, so I would lower the amount of money that I'm carrying, because I'm currently carrying 4,000 gold and 300 platinum.
Jesus. And yeah, you're like, here, everybody have some gold, and they're like, oh my God, you're so generous, and what a charitable and giving philanthropist you are. And you're like, actually, I'm kind of over my encumbrance, so
I would be soon, I'm kind of limit right now, so I don't want to.
I'm just gonna give you some of my lesser money, cause fuck it.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep the platinums and give you the gold.
It's so funny.
But I have on me the salary of my henchman for next month, so we're good. And I'm going to leave.
All right. I need just 1 second. I have to swallow some pills, and this usually makes me gag. So give me just a second.
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna take a minute also.
Alrighty, are you back?
Yeah, I was just AFK a tad, and when my toast jump, I'm gonna take another minute. Uh, cool. Um, I think I'm ready to leave Lil Casta,
Okay.
and I'm gonna tell the guard and the people around I might be out for a while, but when I come back, I hope that the city will have prospered a bit or evolved a bit.
Well,
And
I mean, we're not gonna turn into mole men or anything like that.
all right, I'm gonna summon the map of the world, and here it goes. Now we're not gonna go through the fucking awful. We're going from Little Casta, and we're
Oh,
going
hold
through
on,
the
I'm
road.
I- I'm pulling it up now. You were quicker than me.
Yeah, I need to move. Okay, so the circle is where I am, and we're gonna go through the field to avoid the mountains. There's
Mm-hmm.
gonna be other.
There are some low-lying foothills there, of course.
Yeah, well, we're gonna find a way to not delay, and I'm gonna give a nod or two to the tugs when they fight a bit. It's like, guys, stop making some fucking noise and still move on. I need another 30 seconds because my toast just jumped.
Go ahead.
I am back.
Excellent.
So I've replenished on rations. I'm at 12 rations right now. I will remove the gold. I imagine I can buy rations in Little Casta.
You can. At half
Well,
price.
at half price. Cool. Um,
Yeah, well, Little Casta, as I said, is a farming orchard, community here that, they're a food producer. They help places like Kiz and all of that stay fed. And so they have an overabundance of food, and if you've ever lived anywhere where like something is made, it's always cheaper there.
Absolutely. Okay. After a night's rest in my quarters, like we all crashed there, it's time to move. Oh, I told you last game, um, and I put it today, but now that we're moving, I told you last game. Next time I go to Roland's, now that I have money, I'm just gonna buy a bunch of serrated arrows.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I've got 60 serrated arrows. It's the only arrows I have.
Roger, Roger.
All right, so we can just have. I can just not think about this, but my arrows will do the bleeding all the time
Yes,
because it's better.
it is.
Uh, okay, we're in Little Casta and we're moving out, and you see the two lines of
I
my
do.
intended average. You know, we want to go and meet that road.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So as you can see from your path there, instead of taking the road south and avoiding the foothills, you're kind of taking. There is a little bit
Oh,
of a pass in between there, just a little.
I didn't see it. I didn't. I had not seen that. But if there's a road here, of course I would like to take
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a little blocked off by the Carpathia there, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, when I'm zoomed out, I just saw I didn't see it. But if I zoom in, yeah, if you zoom out, you don't see the road at all. You just
Yeah.
see it a white dot. But once zoom in, yeah, yeah, okay. So yeah, I would go through the road until it ends.
Perfect. And so along the way from the road, there's another town down there. And although I forget the name of that town off the top of my head, you actually have one more chance to stop and rest. And if you're interested in meeting people there, we're not even going to pull up a map right now. But like,
Okay.
if
No,
you're
I'm not interested.
yeah. So as you stop there,
Actually,
it's just
now
a
that you mention it, is there an inn?
kind of. It's what's known as the last rest. And at the last rest inn, um they let you know that the next place to stop is 3 days travel to Little Costa that way along the road.
Okay, so
Uh,
that was 3 days travel.
almost a week to get to the King's Highway to the south to the Imperial Highway to the south.
Yeah,
To either of the two towns that you see, one by the I and one below the H.
yeah.
And like 2 weeks to get up into Caledonia up there. So like there is nothing for a long time once you leave
So
this town.
I need to buy 6 rations, which are a silver piece, 2 silver piece per. How was it again?
Rations are 1 silver piece each, I believe.
Okay, good. Okay, solved. I got 14 rations on me. I tell my guys, if you're gonna have 10, 12 rations on you, so we can avoid wasting time hunting, it would be good because we're going through the forest and when we want to meet that village, and anything could slow us down in the way. That's part of the trip.
Kyle says, I agree. All of a sudden, you tell him. What do you mean I tell him? You're the one who said that it was going to be fine. You tell him. I don't want to tell him. You tell him. And then the brothers, like, one of them shoves the other one towards you. At this point, you don't even, like, remember which one is which. It's just Dumb and Dumber, Tweedledee and Tweedledum. Yeah, and I mean, not those guys were with Ocean's 11 for a reason, but there's a difference between being capable, but also being the least capable, members of the party. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they're capable enough to where you still want them, but they're just like, they're not as capable as everybody else, so they're like the low men on the totem pole. Anyway, one of them shoves the other one towards you, and he says, so did you think maybe you could cover us for some rations until we get paid again? Like you could take it out of our pay, just.
I expected it. It's cool. I'm gonna buy you 12 rations each.
Thank you, boss.
I'm gonna take the gold off, so that's 24 rations, silver, so 2 gold.
I mean, you could totally take it out of our pay.
Yeah, I will.
You're like, I am.
Yeah, I'm just not making a fuss. When they told them, okay, they're wasted. They'll plan ahead. But if we're out in the wild and there's no alcohol or girls, they're going to sober up, and maybe that's bad.
Yeah, we'll find out if that's any better or worse, but. Okay, yeah, so that's that. I just
Gold and silver adjusted. So, okay, these fucking guys. But instead of becoming impatient at them, I decide to just, okay, this how it is. What is it? Okay, that's the solution. We move on.
Yeah, no, and that's all you got to do. It's not as easy as press X to skip, but it is, press Y to spend, however much, 24 gold, and there you go.
You know that these guys, they prove their words. They had very good rolls with that wyvern.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They messed that wyvern up. One of them cracked its skull, which ended up being what you didn't exactly want, but
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, they took it down. They fucking took it down.
Which is what you wanted. So
that's the goal.
Even messing up the vulture feathers, it's like, yeah, but you guys still helped me take down a wyvern and 3 vultures. Like, fuck.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna drag my circle because now we are here, and on the next day we're setting off.
Indeed. Just for the record, that was 3 days travel, so you actually had to eat 3 rations.
I removed 3 rations, which
Yep.
got me down to 9, and then I bought 5 more because I want to be on 14.
Yep.
But I tell everyone else that they should be on 12.
Right. No, you're fine. I just wanted to make sure that I was clear about what time had passed.
Yeah, when you said 3 days, I got it.
1 year later. So now that is a long journey there. That's like 10 days.
I can expect encounters and rolls, and that's cool. I don't
Yep.
even know what I'm gonna do in there. It's just I want to speak to any politician or government, and they might not receive me, or they might, and I'll make sure that they'll get it. I'll find a way.
Yeah.
No one knows me. Absolutely, no one knows me in Calden.
Well, I mean, like, I wouldn't say absolutely no one knows you, period. just you're low level enough to where like nobody's like got a file on you or anything like that. Like you might have like some noble sometime that attended some party that like you know what I mean.
Yeah, but it's not like the blacklisted in my
Right.
own country.
Right, exactly. You're just another dude from Carpathia to the Caledonians, like, yeah.
Yeah. So we'll start there, but eventually I'm going to buy some fancier clothing, make sure to pimp myself up and start to move diplomatically to encounter any noble and to have that information brought to whoever wants to know that there are vampires.
Now, so
Which
that
is far-fetched.
so that
I
I
don't
under
know if
so,
people will trust me or who will believe me.
right, so that I understand, are you talking about once you arrive or are you talking about on the road?
Once I arrive, I mean, right now, all I want to do is hope to get to an outpost, not even Calden, but an outpost of the Caldonian Empire to speak about the topic that there's unholy things happening, um, and I want to just spice up the Caldonian Empire against Carpathians.
Sure. So
I'm a nobody, but I'm gonna try.
yeah, well, George Washington was a nobody with a lot of money too.
Yeah,
I mean, that's you want to talk about what nobody with some money can do. So anyway, the good news is that out on the open grasslands here, the biggest threats are like large herds of herbivores of a not prehistoric, but ice age nature.
yeah.
Giant ground sloths and yeah, just things like that. Giant woolly rhinoceroses and just like crazy like ice age animals, but also like um, you see people every so often, like a little small village here and there. Again, not big enough to make it onto the map, but
Yeah.
a gathering. And so you make it to you see that oh wait, who's guiding?
That's always a question. I thought the spy was the brightest one. I mean, we can imagine that when the sun rises, it gives us a general direction every day.
Sure, of course.
But
General
otherwise,
direction. But anyway, the spy is better at like scout, like reconnaissance and lookout. But not so much with directions. He's kind of like me like that to where he can like navigate his way around a city just fine, but like if you ask him to like tell you how to get somewhere, like he did what?
yeah, it's not gonna work. Okay, so we're doing our best, and since it's the open field, little woods, a lot of field.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then I mean, we see the sunrise every morning, so we readjust.
Yeah, you can readjust every morning. You're 100% right on that. But I want you to know one thing. From the hours of say 9:30, 10ish until like 4, uh during those hours, especially the closer you are to noon, um it is almost
Yeah, I have no idea.
impossible
Yeah.
to determine direction. And have you ever like heard the plains referred to as like a sea of grass or anything like that?
I've driven through them. Yes.
Oh, okay. Good.
Oh, look, more nothing.
Yeah. More nothing. And if there wasn't a road clearly marking which way to go, and all you see is corn and wheat and grass every which way you look, like you can easily wander off the path. Now
The,
I'm not
the,
looking to get you completely lost. I'm just
the,
trying to determine whether or not you end up straying closer to the mountain ranges and foothills than you intended.
okay. I want to say something funny.
Yes.
I think it's funny. The coolest thing I've ever heard my GPS say, legit, is in 684 miles, continue. So literally, I was on
were you in Montana?
I crossed the U.S. In a car, and 2/3 of it was on Highway 10. So from the start to almost finish in California.
Oh, California. Oh, usually they have a little more stuff.
Yeah, but from Chicago to I don't know if it's Chicago. I mean, I crossed in Toronto, so I was in the Big Lakes area.
Detroit?
I could be Detroit, yeah. So one of those cities. I don't know the geography of U.S. much. I'm Canadian. So it was just funny that he says in that extremely huge amount of miles, just keep going. It's just because the road changes names, so it will reset. And then there
Mm-hmm.
was another 400, 500 miles on the same, so 1,000 something miles in a straight line. And that was funny. So
Yeah.
I went through these plains and yeah, Ohio and everything.
And,
So
and hey, you listen here, Maple Leaf. Until you guys give all of your places actual state names, you don't get to rip on the United States. What's that? Oh, that's the Northwest Territories. What? Name that shit.
there's not enough people there to give it another name.
Exactly. so, so I
There's
will
more
send
people
you
than mice, so
a
keep it
link
down.
after this game to something you should watch. It's one of the funniest Canada parodies I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. Okay. Back to the game.
Yes, indeed. So you uh need to roll for survival because you're the leader and nobody else is any good at this. Like listen, we can like get you around a little bit, but like we're not
Wow.
guides. You didn't hire a guide. You hired warriors
I
per se.
I realized that I did not hire a guide because I was thinking once we find a road, we just keep on it. But
Hmm.
yeah.
So you guys actually do end up straying towards the mountains. Now here's the good thing. Mountains make a really 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 good reference point,
Yeah,
and
because when you see the mountains, you know where you are. So if I'm gonna move my so if we're somewhere closer to the mountains than our goal, we see the mountains, we're not supposed to get closer to the
right.
mountains. We're supposed to go away.
Right. You're like, are those mountains getting bigger again? Like, obviously we're off path.
I mean, at one point, once we reach about here, I'll just say keep the mountain to our back.
Yeah,
It's just go away from it. And yeah, we have strayed.
yeah, indeed. But like I said, it's not the end of the world. I'm not trying to get you lost. I'm not
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
that like you can't get out of this one. I'm simply saying that you did wander a little bit, and now you have to deal with the consequences and repercussions of that.
And you need to tell me how many rations did we bust so far? How many days?
Oh yeah, it's been a week.
So 7 days. All right. And what's this new map that just popped?
As you guys are traveling closer and closer to the mountains, you come across a very nicely built but abandoned and therefore ruined village. These houses are not like the simple houses that you see in Little
Oh!
Costa.
Did someone scream at you?
It- Well, I mean, not me per se, but I'm sure I'm next. The dogs are getting in trouble first. I'm sure I'll be getting in trouble soon. And so, once you make the mom moody, they say happy wife, happy life. And although I have not found that to be true, I have found the inverse, unhappy wife, unhappy life, to be 100% true.
Well, I had a simple relationship with my wife. We don't piss each other off, and we take time apart. So that was cool.
Yeah. Um,
Nonetheless.
Whatever you can make work.
Yeah.
And so now, you guys are approaching from the south here, and you can just see, all of these buildings are like partially destroyed, and you can't tell how much of it has just been like naturally over time and how much of it has been like, you know, oh, somebody was here and like burning it and all of that. There's no doubt in your mind that like some of the damage is from fighting, which is probably, if you know this area and are dating the style of building correctly, is probably what happened here. There was probably an invasion, and the
Or
people, yeah, and the people got chased out, and so. So you want the thugs right next to you, right?
I usually want the dogs close. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was being facetious, but yeah.
Yeah. The bar would be in the back.
You like stand right there, like one of you on this side, one of you on that side. Stop touching each other.
And their name is Tug and Tug.
I haven't quite come up with names for all of them yet. Like I figured the knight was worth a name, so I figured a K name for a knight, was good, and of course Kevin and Kyle. And so I don't know if the thugs are worth a name just yet, but we'll find out.
Yeah, it's cool. I'll let you go to your rhythm. Uh, I tell them Bard, Spy, and Kyle. The question is now, uh, we could just get moved past this and not give a single ounce of shit. But because there might be an encounter, we have to.
Well, I do want to be clear that when it comes down to everything here, there's not necessarily an encounter, and if you do want to bypass the town, you can.
Yeah, I mean, is it worth searching? I mean, this
Well, I
town.
I mean, what answer do you want from me for that?
Now, this is just. I was just thinking if that town would have been there for a while, it would have been pig dry anyway. And so, where are we? Are we like similar to where I put my circle on the big map?
Uh, yeah.
Okay, so halfway. Yeah.
At
Um,
least 2/3.
yeah. So yeah, this town would have been pig dry in my mind. So we're just gonna walk straight through it and be careful. Just pay attention.
Oh,
Just
for sure.
but that's it. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
So the war, because there is war, right?
Water?
Well, you say that this was destroyed through a battle. Is it because there is active war?
War. Yeah. Right now, you guys have been dealing with about 27 years of goblin and orc raids, deeper and deeper into Carpathian territory, and there is rumor of a hobgoblin warlord. Are you familiar with Hannibal at all?
That gives me an idea. Is it the cannibal?
No, not Hannibal Lecter.
Oh,
Hannibal, the man who brought down um, Rome. He sacked Rome. He rode in on elephants and just squashed everybody. And and so Hannibal is one of the most feared, warlords in all of history. And like this hobgoblin is basically like this world's equivalent of that.
okay. Well, we're gonna try to avoid him, eh?
Yeah. You should probably do that. But you hear that he's way far to the east right now.
Okay. This city is of no importance. My objective still remains to get to the first city in the Caldonian Empire, and from there, ask for information on the next step.
Yeah. Okay, well, that all sounds lovely. So, you are marching through the town intent on, you know, getting through here as quickly and safely as possible while keeping a lookout. And that is when the scout does what he does, where he puts his hands up and motions, and everybody hits the deck except for the two thugs.
These thugs are gonna put me in trouble eventually. Skills. I'm gonna stealth myself with 23.
You stealth yourself with the number 23.
Whatever that means.
It's a Jim Carrey movie. It's pretty good. And that is when you see it. If you scroll up on the map from where you are.
It is a mofo ogre.
It is. And as a mofo ogre, a mofoger, it sees the two thugs and rolls for
Standing while everyone is crouched.
and rolls for initiative.
Yeah, so let's do initiative.
And everybody else is in initiative already. You just need to roll. Nope.
11.
Oh, did it work? It did work. Okay, boom. Just took it a second. My bad. I'm sorry.
It happens.
I didn't mean to question you. I'm so sorry. They give me a lot of poison and steroids, and it kind of turns me into a really sick asshole.
Poison and steroids. Wow.
The steroids is to counteract the poison.
Yeah, to help you survive it.
Yeah. So what do you think the spy should do here? Like obviously he crouched down over here by the tree and everything. He's like,
Yeah. And I stealthed, so I imagine I'm also somewhat on the side.
Yeah.
I say the thugs that have crossbow, everyone range weapon that ogre from here and just try to pull it through the central alley while we range.
want me to just shoot it right now from hiding? You don't want me to like wait until it gets closer or something like that?
Yeah, you shoot it right now, and I'm gonna shoot it right now. I'm gonna Hemocraft my bow right now.
All right, I gotta say I don't like your plan, but okay.
Okay. The longer we have at range, the more damage it has when it reaches us. So
We don't know.
start shooting.
We don't know what's going on with it at all. Like, when's the last time you just saw a random ogre walking around?
Oh, that's wise. So it could be multiple ogres.
We don't have any clue what's going on with it. I think like, we should definitely come up with a better plan than just attacking it right now. Like at the very least, do you think I should maybe sneak around the back of these buildings and try and ascertain what else is there by being stealthy as shit and seeing if he's got any friends, or maybe we can triangulate on him and get that going for us if not.
All right, cool. So the tugs, you're gonna stay here, okay? And when you hear me shout attack, you start to range on whatever you see and start to hit whatever you see, and stay close so you get your pack hits, whatever that means.
Yeah.
I'll tell them in a less meta game. You work together. You work well together when you're one next to the other. So stay one next to the other.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, and so the spy goes
Actually,
and stealths off over
you
here.
see that house on our right? Just go in there and pay attention to make sure that if I shout, you come out. I had a good stealth also, so I'm gonna go to the side. Scout, I'm going to wait for you here.
You turn around. He Batmaned you.
Yeah, he Batman me. Knight, Knight and Bard, just stay close.
My name's Kyle. He's Steve.
The spy's name is what?
I don't. Steve, I guess.
Yeah, you just said it. Like, I'm Kyle, he's Steve. All right, Kyle and Steve. Because their name is not written on their token, so I just kind of forgot. Kyle
Yeah, it
and
is.
Steve. Oh, now it's.
Yeah. I literally just did it. I'm just.
All right. Next. I mean, the scout says don't rush, so don't rush. Oh, and the tugs, hey, come behind us, and at least don't make a ruckus. And we're just gonna wait for him here. And if he doesn't survive, then we'll know.
Who go where?
So the ogre is coming here.
He doesn't seem to have like an exact position because you guys kind of all scrambled and are trying to hide along the side of the building there. And he's a big dumb ogre, so he's not, nailing it, but he does seem to have a general idea and is coming in your general direction.
All right, guys, crew the scouting. This dude's right here. Start shooting. We want to be range. We want to get him down as much as we can before he arrives, and then try to run away in various directions. And the tugs, you will go and right in his face when it's time. Actually, the tugs, you're good. You did a lot of damage to that wyvern. You should just run towards him and still shoot. I'm gonna do. I was wondering where what my action was. It's in the bar. I'm gonna do my longbow attack.
Oh, you got to target the ogre by control left clicking him.
So I hit not.
You did. See?
Okay.
Ogres have crap armor.
Cool. So did it get the damage? No?
No, now you roll the damage. There you go.
I've reread, and on undead, I do 2 Hammercraft die instead of 1.
Right.
Yeah.
When
The
when
others-
you,
On non-undead, I just do 1 Hammercraft die.
Yep.
Yeah. So it is that. It got
correct.
the Rite of Dawn and the yeah. So he gets that damage, and maybe he sees me.
He does for now, yes.
Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I ran and
You actually cannot cut that corner there. That's a building right there. Sorry.
by the way, I just remembered I have 2 attacks per turn. Let me do my other one.
Sure.
So it hits with 13, so I'm gonna do the damage again. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm here. And now I'm done.
Excellent.
Oh man,
And now thug number 2. And I assume that that was the point where you also yelled attack. I'm sorry if you said it.
yeah, I just said it. It's like, hey, how about you just run towards him and start shooting range, but run to him. Just go ahead and run.
Yep.
And that's what I told the tugs to do.
And that is what they do. All right. So, now I am going to, yeah, odd. I got to figure out how to set that so that it automatically does 2 attacks for you. The thug is going to do exactly what you said and run out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he's got his heavy crossbow already cocked and loaded. He targets the ogre. This is actually a black-skinned ogre from Carpathian Mountains that practices dark magic, but it's still just an ogre.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing special about it. It doesn't have special spells or anything. Because an ogre with special spells is a
I don't know.
Oni. O-N-I.
Ah.
So the thug is trying to run and aim, and he comically pulls back on the lever and shoots the crossbow bolt right down into the ground. It just, completely misses. And now the ogre is yelling that he's under attack. The bard is like, "Oh no. I don't know if I should try to put him to sleep anymore because it looks like this is happening now. So I guess I'm going to uh,
Does she have some kind of mockery thing?
yeah, I can taunt him. But I gotta get into range first. Let me see. I'm 40 feet from the ogre and my range is 30 on that. I could do sleep, I just don't know how effective that's going to be.
Can you delay your action after another person hit it?
I mean, yeah, but that's not going to help per se. Like, I'd have to delay my action until he moves, but due to the nature of simultaneous movement, he would get his full movement before my spell would go off.
Yeah.
I think I'm actually going to cast invisibility on myself.
That's a good idea.
No! No, it's not. I am going to cast invisibility on the spy.
Ah, cool.
I actually do try to use good tactics for you.
Is there a way to mark, like in Roll20, you can just put an icon on? Is there a way to mark a status?
Well, yes. And I'm putting that on right now. I'm just trying to make sure that I have the correct one going on. Because if I cast this with a second level slot, the effect is invisibility, concentration, duration 1 hour, but then it's got the third level that I can cast it at, and I want to make sure that like I don't mess that up. To Steve by Bard, perfect. Steve is invisible.
Oh, and there is a little icon. Cool. So is it Kyle's turn now?
Yes, now it is Kyle's turn. I see no real option other than to start to provide what I provide, which is meat shield and mediocre melee.
Well, he has a crossbow, does he?
Oh, I have a crossbow.
Yeah, shoot that shit.
I am going to shoot my crossbow in the first round. I'm not an idiot. I'm just saying that like my only real option here is to get out into the middle of the road and start to draw attacks.
Yeah.
No.
No, what?
I'm going to stand alongside the thug because if I move too close, then the ogre can charge me. And I didn't get to be a hedge knight by being dumb enough to allow ogres to charge me.
I'll take your word for it.
Hey, I mean, I'm infinity% more alive than your last companions.
For sure. For sure. That's why I pay you. The other companions were free and dead.
Sometimes I don't know what I pay you for. You don't pay us, sir. I let you live for. I do hit the ogre, but it appears as though ogre's flesh is tougher than anticipated. I.e., my damage is not very damaging.
Your damage is not damage.
Damaging.
Yeah.
It's not very effective. Okay, so it's at this point that you hear a familiar sound. The sound of Goblin doing Goblin stuff. And this Goblin doing Goblin stuff is another one of the Goblin captains.
Yeah, it's good that we're taking down the ogre first. If they only have one.
The Goblin captain runs up here and says something in Goblin. You don't understand.
Of course not.
And that is when all of a sudden nothing.
All of a sudden, nothing. Let's what? What?
Yeah, all of a sudden nothing. Yeah. You've never had a sudden nothing? All right, so Steve jumps through the window of this house, peeks his head out the doorway frame here so that he still has cover because he can step back in after shooting, and invisibly shoots the ogre, giving him snack attack.
Snake.
Gotta love snack attack.
I guess he loses invisibility at this.
He will lose the invisibility as soon as he makes a attack, but you know what you gonna do.
Yeah.
The point is that I got a guaranteed sneak attack.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I just want to count something out here. Yeah, I use cunning action in order to dash up to him and then invisibly stab him. I'm gonna stab some daylight into you.
Stab some daylight.
Yeah. Like that. You see that? In the fucking eye. Take that, you fucking ogre.
Steve is hyper.
Yeah. He got given a bunch of steroids today. Dude, look what I just did to that ogre.
Yeah. You
Okay.
did him good.
Yeah. So let's just all take a second to acknowledge, just how amazing I really am.
You mean Steve, right?
Well, that's who I'm talking as. I'd be talking this as the ogre, except for you'd be getting a lot more pissed about it if I was the ogre too. That's the thing. I'm never for or against the PCs. I'm embodying whatever characters I'm possessing at that time.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss. I sad. Oh, wait. What? No, I still have advantage. Ho ho! And that would have technically been the other roll for the other hit that I didn't get advantage on, so now I roll again with advantage. I do hit, but I cannot deal my sneak attack damage twice in one turn, even if I have multiple attacks that would qualify.
It's a once.
So I leap up onto the ogre's back and stab him in the shoulder with my one dagger. And using the leverage, I swing myself around, or short sword, and stab him in the eye with my other short sword. And now he is blinded until the end of his next turn. So that's pretty cool. I'm gonna actually apply that. And it's for one round. Done and done.
All right, Tug. Do your thing.
Don't rush me, man. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. Not me, the player. That's the.
Yeah. I can only imagine.
Did I just call myself a fucking player? What the fuck?
What?
I don't never refer to myself as a player. You got me all kinds of fucked up today.
Must be me.
Yeah, or the fact that it's a solo game. Or the fact that my brain's being eaten alive at the moment. Oh my god! He rolled a 19 and a 20. That is. Dude, don't you never fire these thugs.
Yeah. Ten damage. That's good.
And he drops the ogre down to the ground. It's clutching its air bolt in its chest, dying.
So the ogre is not going to take action.
It's gonna take one action. It's gonna secretly roll a death save. And I only say secretly because that's how the system seems to do it. Okay, now suddenly something. Suddenly Seymour.
Yeah. We got ourselves some mofos.
What you got is some goblins that ride hyenas. And they are pretty fast. They have a speed of 50. They're strong to fight to the dead because they eat their nevid. Huh? See? For an American, I can be taught.
It seems you can.
So, whoa, what was that? If I lose power, I will be back on shortly. This hyena riding um, goblin, which, the token's a little funny right now because the token of the goblin is riding a hyena and then it's on top of a hyena that it's riding. But that's just that I can have separate targets for you and everything.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but so it rides the hyena here, and then it eyes up its options.
Options are eyed.
And it decides that its best option is to shoot at Kyle with its bow at disadvantage because it's trying to shoot well mounted and it doesn't have like mounted archery or any shit like that. That's not good. All right, so you get the picture here. Goblins come riding in on hyenas.
Yeah, I do get the picture. There's a few of them.
Indeed. I just didn't want to, bore you with like repetitive descriptions. Uh-oh. This goblin charges in full speed on its hyena and slashes at Steve with his scimitar, hitting him for a light blow, grazing him slightly across the arm, but he's got light armor on that protects him.
It is me.
Mario!
I want to save a life by ending a life. It's kind of a give and take thing.
Yeah. Give a penny, take a penny.
Hyena, I miss. Hyena, 16. Does that hit? Oh, yeah.
It'll tell you right in there. I wait for you to roll the damage and then I describe the whole thing in totality. Yeah. So exactly, you draw your longbow and like I said, this thing hits like a Mack truck. So you fire your arrow directly at the hyena, but um, it's at full speed, right? So your arrow is just a little bit off, and you adjust with your second shot and nail the hyena right in the chest. It does that thing where it hits the ground and tumbles and sends its rider flying, because it is now insta dead.
Oh, it just went down. Well, it did take 10 damage.
So you see the 6+3 effect unconscious to hyena, damage 9 to hyena 4, instant death, status dead.
Nothing of that. I see nothing of that. Damage, longbow type, piercing, 6 plus 3, 9.
Oh, okay, so it doesn't tell you all that.
Damage,
Oh, that's cool. Good to know it doesn't give you that full information, but that is exactly why I like to wait until the event has happened because now I can tell you that hyena is dead. You hit it once and it's insta dead. Perfect shot, right in the lung.
Cool. I'm gonna do my movement. Actually, I did my movement to come here, so I have 5 foot left to go back, and that's it. I will move to the other. Pop my 2 arrows from my stash.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's something I gotta make sure is running correctly because it should be subtracting your arrows.
Well, it's not, so I do it by hand, and it's okay.
Oh, I know why it's not, and I'll fix that right now. There you go. Now it will auto track that for you.
Cool.
Thug number 2, what was I doing? Oh yeah, looking like an idiot, shooting my foot off almost. I forgot it about that. Boss, are we supposed to be targeting the dogs or the goblins?
Go for the dogs first, man. Actually,
I don't feel
right
good
now,
about that.
if you can save the life of Steve, just shoot at the goblin next to Steve.
I'm not gonna try to shoot no more, boss. I can't do it.
All right, go for the doggy.
I'm gonna go for the goblin. I don't know why I asked you if I wasn't gonna listen, but
It's okay. I've got used to it.
sorry, boss. Oh, and now I'm. Oh, that was my heavy crossbow. 1 second. It's the same. Oh no, I do have an extra +2 on this one for this. So, and then I roll a 1. So I guess we're figuring out which one is Tweedledum.
You can.
Thug number 2 is Tweedledum. Thug number 1 is Tweedledee. All right. So I got a bad news scenario for you. Which do you want first?
The worst one.
This is ogre number 3.
So there was number 2 somewhere.
Yeah. The bad news is that there's more than one ogre. The worst news is that this is ogre number 3.
Yeah, this is gonna look grim.
So I'm just trying to see if I have reach on you yet, because you're kind of tiny. I'm just going to go here, and then I can hit either one of you I want. Ha ha ha. But I can't hit you this turn, because I move more than my maximum movement. But I want you to know that on my next turn, I intend to kill you. Well, that sounds scary as shit.
He's really into it, right?
The ogre, yes. The thug, no. The thug is like, boss, this guy's like intimidating me over here. Heinrich, he says he rules us.
No comment. Well, he missed at least.
Okay, and then that goblin comes racing down around that way. Okay, I used invisibility, and now you what's that? Save Steve? Is he that hurt?
We want to prevent that from happening.
I don't have much in the way of prevention.
Yeah, in this case, yeah, just insult the ogre.
The one who's on the ground dying? Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, boss. That was a dumb question.
The one who is not yet, and should be soon.
Yeah. let's see. I do have heroism. That grants 2 temporary hit points. I don't think that's going to cut it.
No.
I could try to put that one to sleep. Oh, you know what? Oh yeah. Oh, I want the goblin boss to be here too, though. Damn it. Well, Heinrich, boss man, I think I need to check my positioning first before I get too excited.
No problem.
Okay, so I can't do it perfectly just yet anyway. I would still catch the thug in it, but I have Thunder Wave to where I could push these guys back, which would affect like basically all of them, which would be great. But I'm a little bit out of position just yet. Sorry, boss.
Fine. Fine.
You see, I'm trying. I just wasn't able to. So I don't know what my next best move is then.
Well, she's going really close to combat for a bard.
I was just seeing if I could get close enough for the Thunder Wave.
I mean, the bard should range for now, shouldn't he?
Ooh, 60 feet. 10-foot radius sphere, so 20 feet. Okay. Hold on, I got this.
All right.
All right, so I go back. I'm just gonna peek around the corner here, because that's all I got to do. Now I got line of sight. Booyaka! Look at that. You like that?
Looks nice.
And with that,
But does it work? Do we win combat?
oh well.
Okay, one thing at a time.
Okay.
That's good. That's good.
All right, come on, boss. Cut me a little slack.
Yeah, that was good. Did they get hit?
I'm about to find out.
Oh yeah, now they have to save. And they still take half.
Exactly.
And these goblins and ogres, they shat her pants.
Ha ha ha.
Yeah.
Boom! As the shattering sound of magical energy destroys the side of the building that she cast the shatter on in order to just bounce it off of the wall enough, knowing how sound waves work and everything, to nail all of these guys. It's like a billiard shot, but with a projected sound wave, and many of the goblins and ogres and all of that are damaged, dying, or outright dead after the devastating decibels of the deliciously shit, I can't think of any more D words, bard. Yeah, I was on a roll there. I did all right.
Yeah, it's pretty good. And you know what? That will warrant a raise. She'll get some butter now on her bread.
Yeah, she likes it. She likes it. And so this goblin hears that and is like, "What the fuck was that? I better go run in there and check it out."
Yeah.
And so it gets
So,
behind the thug and flanks it, but it can't attack. The goblin number 1 is gonna follow his homie over here.
oh me. We're gonna get flanked.
That's the plan. That's what they're trying to do. I mean, they're not complete idiots, like they ain't the smartest or nothing, but I don't need any orders, boss. I got this. I slash twice at the ogre, dealing heavy damage to it. And I also shout encouraging words to Steve and the thug. Hit him over there, do this, do that, jab, feint, head movement, guys, head movement.
Does it work?
Every single person who rolls any kind of attack or saving throw needs to add +4. So down in the modifier, just like preemptively type +4, and like that should work.
Yeah. +4 or +1d4?
+4 every time. I just roll once, and that's what we add every time. Because
Okay. To make it easier. Okay.
yeah, I mean, why jerk it around,
It's good. We got +4. I'm all for it. Why jerk it around? That's a nice expression. How's Ogre 2 doing?
Running up on your flank, and also not able to attack. So there's that. Guys, this is going kind of okay, kind of not really okay. I'm gonna make a on field decision here. Let me check my wisdom. Oh, it ain't great, guys. Oh no, I think we should fight to the death.
Okay.
I rolled poorly, and so like I have to do what would be most detrimental for me. If I did like a fighting retreat, especially if I was willing to sacrifice some of my heavy ogres in order to get my fast moving goblin hyena riders out of here, I could probably like do something. But if I fight to the death, I'm going to lose everybody. And every single one of these little groups you pick off in between now and whatever big battle is coming is that much less that they have to bring.
Yeah, and it's also good for the region.
Exactly. But I am still a cowardly goblin boss, so instead of going in, I'm just gonna, stay standing back here and
I'm
what?
still a cowardly. I'm still just a cowardly goblin boss. So
Yeah.
it's so cool that just the way you throw this out there.
Well, it's kind of like the thought bubble of how I'm playing the NPC set. If you disagree with anything, you can interject, and
Right.
and just gives you insight.
Yeah. It's that's more like it. It's more like it gives me insight. It tells me what the hell's going on here.
Yep. That way, it's not just like, why is he doing these random things?
Yeah.
I'm going to. Oh, wait, what am I thinking? I have advantage on dipshit ogre down here. And don't worry, I know you got to get going soon. We're just going to run right up until the last second. And Fantasy Grounds is great about allowing you to pause in the middle of a combat, which I hate to do,
Yeah.
but it's probably necessary this time.
Yeah, it might be necessary. I have until flush 10. I
Okay.
can tell you
Yeah, we're
guys.
we're we're gonna go as fast as we can. Hopefully, everything works out.
Yeah. And that's good.
All right, advantage, hit, damage, sneak attack, boom. I deal critical damage to, not a critical hit, just a critical amount of damage to the ogre, and now I attack him again. Oh, almost didn't have my advantage turned on. I still get advantage. I just don't get sneak attack. Boom! Oh, no, 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 19! Stabbing this dude all up in his ogreness. Oh, I wasn't able to take him out. Yeah. I get a little fast and loose with the verbiage when I'm going, quick.
It's ogre.
All right, I'm not gonna kill the hyena. I'm gonna kill the goblin.
You think the hyena would be afraid in the ruckus where everything dies?
Wait, say again?
The hyena would probably just want to go away and
That's exactly why I'm killing the rider. A good rider might be able to control his mount and keep him around, but with no rider, yeah.
yeah, it's gonna shit its pants.
That's a hit. Dealing a moderate amount of damage. That's a miss, even with advantage. Come on, thug number one. You're supposed to be the good brother. Better brother? The better brother worth his butter? The better brother you can bet your butter on?
The better batter.
Unconscious, unconscious, unconscious. You ain't doing so bad.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3.
And I am just gonna remove the unconscious ones. Normally there's a thing for if they're
Yeah.
not dead yet, but screw it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. So this guy is still alive, right? There's still an ogre alive, and
Anybody on the map is alive and conscious.
Oh, okay. So basically, imagine is I just hit that one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
and now you can remove him.
Now you have my permission to die.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna attack the other in the back. Hopefully, oh, a crit one. That's it.
Mm.
It's useless, and I'll go here, and that's my turn. Ooh,
Yeah. All right.
simple as that. 2 attacks.
Yep. All right. Thug number 2. He is going to attack this goblin here. And I get advantage because my brother is there. I hate my brother, but he just caused me to drop a 1 to get a nat 20, so you know.
Yeah.
He's dying. And then now also... One second.
At this point, I would not want to tell them all flee. I would say we finish them off because it looks like we're doing good.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And I have all the crafting material we can bring to Roland now. It's just a 7-day walk. I'm just kidding. We're not doing this.
There we go. And another one. And finally, the last one. I smash his stupid goblin face in. And I technically get another attack, but I'm not going to attack the hyena. That's whatever. Oh, wait, I can move and then attack this ogre. What am I saying? I just don't get advantage. I forgot how loose 5th edition is with that stuff.
Yeah.
I like 5th edition. I'm not dissing it. I'm just saying that like Pathfinder is like, what? No, you can't do that.
Yeah, you have a movement and you take it, and then you do everything one thing at a time.
The hyena takes the total defense action.
She's gonna go defensive.
This hyena doesn't get a turn because it's being ridden. This goblin is going to ride his hyena in. Oh shit, boss, there's a goblin right by you. Look out. Look behind you. Stop looking at that other ogre over there and look behind you.
Yeah, I've thank you, Bard.
You're welcome. Just trying to earn that extra butter.
Yeah. This is where we have to disconnect.
Okay.
And I just want to.
Is there any chance we can get through this round? I have a hyena who doesn't get a turn and a goblin who's like gonna go really quick.
Yeah.
Okay. So the bard is just gonna say fuck it and thunderwave this guy, push him off of you.
Won't Thunderwave affect me?
Not if I do it right.
Oh, okay. All right.
What? I'm real good.
Yeah, lots of butter.
1 second. It's messing with my targets. I gotta manually do this. God damn it. Bing and bomb. What? No, hit that guy too. Oh, just fucking come over here. Damn it. I want this to go fast. All right, and then Thunderwave. All right, so they both go into system shock and are pushed 10 feet back from you, and that is her turn. And this goblin is just going to ride in the same as that goblin, but he doesn't get an attack. And so he's just over here by you guys. And then the hyena doesn't get a turn. Kyle is going to rush up to this